Hey, it's Robert with Self-Reliant Mindset. Well, haven't done this in a while, so here we go. We're going to do a fence walk. That's where I walk my property and check the fences, and you get to listen to me ramble a little bit. So enjoy. Hadn't been on here quite a lot lately. I've had a lot going on work-wise. Several weeks ago, it was classes and teaching and help teaching at some other places. Yeah, we got a goat here he went in with the other goat. He's the only one left out here. The other ones had to go be put in another pen because they kept escaping. So he's quite noisy. But anyway, I sat there and been quite busy. Had a couple of kids that are graduating, so our weekends have been kind of full of that. And there are several more weeks away. We got some other activities where we'll be back out in the woods teaching. So, but springtime's on us here. I've been getting a little bit done here and there. A little bit of tilling in the garden. We'll get back to this. Here's been my little problem area here. See the orange snow fence? Tried an experiment. Not really worked very well at all. I got some old junk boats and some equipment up against this fence and on against the property fence that's further over on the other side over there. You can see the property fence is right on the other side, and there's a couple bad spots in it. I've always just had those boats there to kind of keep the cows from escaping. And we decided to put the goats out here, and for a quick, I thought, economical fix, that we just got this snow fence. But as you can see here, the goats just don't know it's there. They just kind of made their way. So, and of course, with the goats, they climb on stuff, and so they was able to escape. So we had to put them in another more secure pen until I got to get time to pull all that stuff away from the fence, fix the fence, and then keep that stuff away from the fence so the goats don't hop on it and then hop over. This morning we got told by our local bus driver we had a goat in a fence. Our big male was up in the other fence, and he's just hopping fences like they're not even there. And he caught the top wire with one of his hind legs and wrapped around, was hanging there upside down. He's all right. He's limping around a little bit, but he definitely isn't trying to get out today. So that's a good thing as far as he's not getting out today anyway, but we'll get him healed up. He is walking around, he's eating, he's drinking, he's been resting a lot, but if I walk up to him, he does get up, and he's been hopping on one leg, but no blood, no nothing like that. I'm sure that didn't feel good hanging upside down off of a fence. So I guess we'll keep going here. So that's the problem area fence. That's why we do fence checks occasionally, just to see if the animals have been misbehaving and treating fences bad. I got some slack wire there, so. But I'm going to go out here and last time I was out here doing fence check, I didn't film it. Kind of in a hurry one day and just did it. I come back out here to the backwoods, and that evening I picked like 4, 5, 6 ticks off of me, and man, I felt the creepy crawlies for the next 2 days and stuff. So we're gonna go out here and brave the ticks, because back here in the woods they seem to be really bad. And but I did get to go out here a couple weeks ago, or a weekend ago or two, with Jake Reed. Did some wild edible walk with him at a state park north of here by about 45 minutes, and learned a lot from him. I appreciated the wood time with him, and him taking the time to share his knowledge, and was able to talk with him for quite a bit. So I did enjoy that. Got urban survival out of the way. I did survive that. I couldn't walk for a week afterwards, but did quite a few miles and overnight, and was able to secure that class. That one I stressed out about for a long while. I think that was a well-played plan out from my instructor, Jason Hunt. He probably just smiled if he gets this video. But this is my wooded area back here. I only got maybe 50 foot of woods back here to my back fence line and stuff. And I usually get some mushrooms growing back here. I didn't find a single mushroom back here in my normal area. But I have a lot to do with it. If you see up in there, it's pretty well mowed down between the cows and the goats. They've pretty much got everything 5 foot and down, 8 up. So, not saying I have bad neighbors, but I do like to see the brush up here because they grow up in the wintertime. I can see their house from back here and stuff. And I'm sure they like their privacy too. But I gotta walk this fence occasionally. Right in here somewhere, I had come across the turkey laying on a nest here. I'm not seeing her today. I don't know where she's at. Looks like we've had a couple cows camping out down here. I don't know if you can see the two big nests. So, and that right there, I don't know. See if I can get that in there. There you go. I think that's where that turkey was laying. I don't see no eggs. I don't know if she up and moved, or I don't see no egg shells or anything. But I was hoping she was. I have a clutch of eggs there. But I took a picture of her a couple weeks ago. But, anyway, I'm trying to get back on track. I had a busy spell at my personal work. I got to wrap that up this next week. But this weekend I got some video and I want to try to get done. But I'm behind on doing some videos anyway. And we'll see what happens how the weekend comes along. But to get back on track of this self-reliant mindset, seems like either I'm bushcrafting or I'm working, and I'm not really doing much of self-reliance. So I feel I'm way behind for the year. The garden, I'm only got about half of it tilled. I don't have a single seed in the ground yet. Yeah, squirrel just sparked my attention. But hopefully that all changes. We have some plants in the house under a grow light in our dining room. It's probably the best seedling starts we've ever had. You know, we failed a lot. But sometimes we have some, excuse me, some successes too. I'm not a master gardener by any means, but we try to do the best we can with what we got. And we're still, I believe, on the same track of trying to do all heirloom seeds, trying to stay away from the genetically enhanced stuff. So I think that's just a better way to go, better way to be. Some of the stuff the commercial seed you get is probably not the best way, and I try to do that as much as possible. So some of the seeds that we got growing in the house, I know are seeds that we saved from last year. Let's see if you can get that up in there along the fence line up there, along in there. I don't see the white. There's a black square object up there, which I think is in the garden. But just this side of that, there's a white face. I believe that's I know that's the little calf heifer out here. And we get up here a little closer, she'll get up and get to see her. That was our yearling that we had. I only got 3 cows up here, one that's slated for the freezer, and I got mama cow. You can see them out there, and the steer, and then there she is. That's the little heifer that we had born earlier this spring, late winter. And haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. You see, I thinned down a bunch of cows this year. Just the feed bill getting too high. And, let's see if she stays laying down. I think she's going to stay laying down. I'm going to give her a wide berth. And she's going to stay laying down. So that's a good thing. Usually I get within 100 yards of her and she's heading to the other side of the property. I don't know why. I've never really been mean to her. But I'm going to end up here in the garden here before too long. I'll sit there and show you around there what little I have done out there. And I pass up all kinds of stuff along here that I want to tell you guys about, but I also too want to keep talking about stuff, and anytime I see it in future videos, I'll stop and talk about it. But we're getting up here back up close. The kids are feeding animals right now, so the dog's always getting a bug barking fit when they're doing that. So we made it back up here. Garden there's supposed to be the strawberry bed, but we've grown nothing but weeds there. So get up here and cross the fence. Okay, well, we still got, I'm having a hard time seeing what the phone's seeing, but I don't know. We still got, let's see the porta potty. There, we still got the trellis tunnel there. There it is. No, I didn't really care for the straw bales. Those will be getting picked out of there, and we're just going to till right on the ground and plant right on the ground and try to train everything up. Still in discussion on what we're planting and stuff like that. I think most of our vegetable crops that we'd eat throughout the summer or try to can, we're going to try to condense them all up into this quadrant up here with the trellis. That's kind of my thought and plan. We'll have to see how the other part of Self-Reliant Mindset feels about that. I think it's been roughly discussed, but nothing concrete has been set. This is our old cattle trough that got blowed out. I got it filled with some nasty dirt, and then up on top there's some good stuff that needs to be thing. But this trough got damaged in the corner there, and we put some chicken wire in there and filled it up with a bunch of stuff, and we use this for like our carrots and lettuce and stuff. So we had the goats out here for a little bit. Kind of a big mistake. Some of our fruit trees have kind of suffered a little bit of goat damage. I need to prune these guys out. You can see I don't know what you can see, but they've kind of, but the tops are good, so I'm going to prune off some of the stuff on the bottom. But haven't gotten any potatoes planted yet. I'm not really worried about it. I know that you can plant them earlier in the year, but they also get done earlier in the season too. And I usually let them sit in the ground until it cools off to where it's a labor-intensive process to plow potatoes out and dig them out. So usually that don't get done until like November before I got the time to do it. And you can see our little cheap garden shed. I can't surprise it's protected here really well. It's where I just kind of put tillers and stuff like that so they're not in my big shop and stuff. So, but I think the rest of these quadrants down here, we'll probably throw some potatoes in one of them over there. And then last year we tried doing some milo, wheat, and rye, trying to grow some grains maybe for the chickens and stuff for the winter time so we can get away from buying commercial feed. And I got overzealous in planting. They had all come up, if you've seen any of the videos last year, but I planted it way too thick. So it really didn't get a really good grow and mature really well. This is probably, and I didn't get it mowed off, but this is some of the milo right right here. That's about as big as the seed head got, and that's my index finger, so you can see it didn't really do that well. It just choked itself out. It was planted way too thin. This year I think I'm going to get my broadcast seeder out. Last year I spread it by hand, but instead of doing little patches, I did 4-foot patches and then kept alternating wheat, rye, and milo. I think I'm going to plant wheat in one section, rye in the other, and stuff like that, and see how that goes. Irrigation, that's all tore down right now. That'll have to be reestablished. I would really like, probably these grain sections, I'll probably keep aerial irrigation like I have had, but I would like to do our other section up there. If we do the our more of our garden vegetables up there, I'd like to do drip irrigation on them. I do have a big spool of drip irrigation, so that is in the plans. So much for a short video here. I'm gonna have to be cutting this off, or they're not gonna let me post it. So we're almost done here, but anyway, we'll probably be working on this off and on for the next several weeks. One thing I know we got to do before we get too serious into this irrigation stuff is my pressure tank on my well in my basement. I don't believe it's holding the pressure like it should, so you flush the stool, the well kicks on and runs until the stool shuts off, and that should have enough reserve in that bladder tank that you should be able to flush a stool and not really affect the well unless the pressure drops. You should be able to run it for a while, so, and it'll run and it'll kick off maybe about 10 seconds and kicks right back on. So I believe that that pressure tank isn't working, and I got to collect the fundage to get that replaced. If I don't replace that, that kind of puts a damper in this irrigation system, because otherwise when I'm watering, that pump is running constantly, and I'm going to be burning out an expensive pump that's about way down in the ground. So that would have to all be lifted, and I really don't want to do a video on how to do a well repair on a pump going out. But we get to doing that bladder replacement, I'll see if I can get some video on that. Sorry if the video isn't coming out really clear. I'm going to sign this off for now. Hopefully I'll be catching you guys a little later on this weekend. We'll get some videos out. I got some stuff that I'm way behind on that needs to happen, and be surprised. Except there, I think there's some giveaways in the equation. So we'll catch you later.